Live streaming is on.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 17th, 2020. Strong hand, buy and hold, golden age of the 2020s, halving hype. Oh yeah, it's still the halving hype after the halving, or you can get pumped for that 2024 halving. Pick your poison. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin in motion, 5-digit realm. Compete, don't complain. Oh, we'll talk about that today. Conviction, yes, I am offended by selling. All right, strong hand people. Hello, my elite friends. Check out Friday's This Week in Bitcoin show. Kyle Kemper was back after 3 years. Phil Geiger was on, and Adam Paul Moore. It's linked to below. Saturday's Beyond Bitcoin show was pretty awesome. Also, everything is getting delayed by YouTube being put up. If you're watching this live, or you're getting it 12 hours before a lot of people are getting it because YouTube just delays it afterwards. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Defiance over compliance. Strong hand 2024. I don't follow the herd. All right, so Lolli. You've heard of Lolli. Alex has been on the show talking about Lolli many times. I had Lolli on the freaking show before anybody was talking about Lolli. All right, best freaking guest in the space. Well, now Lolli's got Ashton Kutcher's money. And I got to say, I was on YouTube. I noticed the ads on the side of YouTube. They're ads for Lolli on YouTube. Now, it's probably targeting me because it knows I do Bitcoin searches and watch Bitcoin videos. Still, Lolli's got some extra money to spend. We did learn how they recently got that money from Ashton and some other funders. So they're spending it on ads. Good for them. They're getting bigger, bringing Bitcoin to the masses. I like it. All right. Now, let's talk about YouTube some more here. If you want to see the newest shows, the latest shows, just follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Every time that I go live, I tweet it out first at TechBalt, TechBalt on Twitter, and then it stays there. You can just go to my feed and see the last time I tweeted out a new show. You click on that URL, it will work. It works forever. It's just weird. Google is just not processing videos very fast. It's taking them like 10 to 12 hours. So after it won't show up on disruptmeister.com for 10 or 12 hours, but it is out there. It's just hard for you to find for the first 10 to 12 hours. Hey, but if you're watching this live, pound that like button because you don't have to worry about 10 to 12 hours. But you won't be able to play it at 2x if you're watching it live either. I prefer 2x when I watch my shows. All right. And I don't watch my own shows, by the way. I know I can't watch look, I watch a lot of other shows at 2x, Ben Shapiro, et cetera, but I never even watch my show at 1x, 2x. You can't watch your own shows. It'll drive you crazy. Now, and so yeah, my podcast gets delayed, BitChute gets delayed because of this YouTube thing. So you can see I've had some odd experiences with YouTube since April the 1st, to say the least. But I'm going to tell you about Google in a second, about a lawsuit against Google and what I think about that potential lawsuit. I think some of you might be surprised, but if you know what I stand for, if you understand my conviction and what I stand for, you won't be surprised by what I say. Now, I want to talk about people that are in motion. My buddies in Edmonton, I've talked about them before. They are interested in the Lightning Network, and they've told me about project ideas. I mean, they've been telling me about project ideas since I hung out with them in 2018, almost 2 years ago now. And well, Sparkshot is their project, okay? And you check it out. It's linked to below. They're like debuting it on Monday, which is basically today. Almost, I mean, I'm giving you the time in Hawaii. I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm going by Hawaii time. It's still Sunday in Hawaii, but everywhere else, it's Monday. And yeah, Sparkshot is debuting. Sparkshot is an art hosting platform that requires users to reveal the art by purchasing pixels in groups of one or more. Once all pixels have been purchased, the art is fully revealed, and we unlock the ability for the art to be downloaded and made free to go and live a life of its own. The arts page will remain on Sparkshot with the comments and metadata provided by the patrons. So Sparkshot is a Lightning Network native application. The very core of the platform is based upon the Lightning Network payment protocol, which, whilst far from a mainstream system, we believe has many benefits over existing systems like PayPal. Now, of course, so they just don't talk about Lightning Network. They've made a product. Maybe if this one goes well, they'll do some of their other product ideas that they've shared with me in the past. Who knows? So check it out. You can leave a comment under the art. And if you're using Lightning Network, you give them a Satoshi. Again, I'm offended by selling Bitcoin, but a little Satoshi to play around with. If you already have a Lightning Network wallet and you got a few Satoshis in it, you give these dudes a Satoshi, you experiment, etc. Why not? I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by, and they're talking about fractions of Satoshis too. It's great. It's great what the Lightning Network can do, and these guys are competing. They're not complaining. It's interesting. Try it out. It's new. They'll be talking about it. Maybe some mainstream crypto media will pick up on the story and write about it. You heard about it here first. Flashback. You guys remember on Fridays, I used to call it FUD Friday. It always seemed like there would be FUD news on Friday that would bring down the price of Bitcoin. And I hadn't thought about that term for a while. So if you've got questions, I've got answers. Is Bitcoin the new Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, dude. Tony, that's a very good question. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. There's still people to this very day who think some altcoin will be the next Bitcoin. And people still click on those articles. I mean, it's totally clickbait nonsense. So let's move on with the topics here. I just lost my place. Okay, so I want to give a shout out. CoinDesk, they write a lot of terrible articles, obviously, but I saw on there. I look through it. I scroll through it, and I see a picture of a woman on there, and immediately I recognized her. It's Adriana Bellotti from Australia. She's been on This Week in Bitcoin show 2 different times. I was hanging out with her and Haas back in Sydney in October, and there's an article about her. So it's linked to below. Check it out. She's from Brazil originally. People have asked me, why do the women that you have on your show from Australia are all from some other country first? They're not from Australia originally. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know the answer to that. But it is true. I've had some Australian women on before, and they're not originally from Australia. This lady is from Brazil. Okay, so, but Adriana is great. Now, let's talk about some other stories that the mainstream publications in the crypto space and beyond, the mainstream media pick up on these types of stories too. Now, the one about Adriana, that's great. She's cool. But, oh my God, these are like 80% mass-produced stories. They're cookie-cutter stories. I'm getting tired. I mean, I'm shocked that people actually ask me about some of these topics still, because it feels like I've lived these stories like 10 different times. They're the same recycled articles just going around and around. Who is Satoshi? I mean, how many times have you had an article about who is Satoshi? And people fall for it. Someone the other day sent me a message like, is Adam back Satoshi? I just like, no. Why? Why do I? And I understand that there's some dude now has a clickbait video about that, and people fall for it. It's the same thing. Who's going to be the next fake Satoshi? Okay, now Adam Beck is not trying to pretend to be Satoshi. God forbid. But it just why does we've had these articles, we've had these videos so many times, and they keep on working. So these mass-produced people, these 80%ers, just keep putting it out there. The same stuff over and over and over and over again. And there's no progress. It's just the same story over and over and over. Enterprise blockchain stories, private blockchain stories. The virus will be good or bad for Bitcoin. Pick your poison on that one. That's a new one. But I mean, it seems like every day CoinDesk has an article about that now. I mean, the virus thing, that it's infiltrated Bitcoin. I want to vomit. But of course, it can't change Bitcoin. Pound that like button. X altcoin is the new flavor of the month. This is what, I just alluded to that when someone asked in the questions, is Bitcoin the next Bitcoin? Well, dude, people ask that question because it seems like so many of the 80% of videos and 80% of articles out there are just like, yeah, this is the next Bitcoin. I don't even want to name these horrible things. Okay, I can't even. Ripple is the next Bitcoin. This is the next Bitcoin. That's the next Bitcoin. It never. It's the same story over and over and over again. And for me, I just sum it up really easy. For the people on this channel, they just know, yeah, there's an altcoin flavor of the month. There's always going to be a new altcoin flavor of the month that people are going to say is Bitcoin. Okay, is the next Bitcoin. And people are going to watch the video. People are going to click on the story. I mean, these dudes, how many times have some of these authors written the same story about, oh, yes, this new protocol is the best thing. Someone famous said something good or bad about Bitcoin. That's a big story. How many times have they written about John McAfee? And if someone, and then people ask me about John McAfee still, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe people ask me about this still. I mean, it's been so played out. It's so jumped the shark. These stories about this famous person, that you need a famous person to tell you if Bitcoin's going to do bad or Bitcoin's going to do good. And of course, then there's the Peter Schiff. I mean, that still works. There's new articles about Peter Schiff all the time. I mean, he is milking it to no end. You can't blame the guy. It should have jumped the shark a long time ago, but they keep on writing about it. People keep on making videos about it. People keep on tweeting about it. I've lived through it 100 times. It's Groundhog Day, dude. And you gain nothing from it. It's a total waste of your time. So all these things that I've just mentioned, if you see these things, don't click on those stories. Don't click on those videos. Don't click on those tweets. Run away and use your time wisely. Some finance person said that Bitcoin is going to be $1 million. Another one said it's going to be $1,100. It's the same cookie cutter story over again. China. Over and over again. But it still works for you people. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. People, proof of work kills the world. I mean, how many times? So yeah, on this channel, you don't get that. And that's how you know who a true radical is. That's what what a radical is, all right? Fitting in is totally overrated. I'm not going to give you the mindless. It's mindless. It's the same thing 10 times over again. I mean, have they still haven't written about the crypto dividends that have been covered on this show that people have become done quite well on. All right. You would think that the people would talk about crypto dividends, and some have, but not the mainstream. No. They don't talk about how you can get interest on your Bitcoin from just holding your Bitcoin. I mean, that might have something to do with it. There's some companies that sponsor them that say, hey, we're running companies where you give us your Bitcoin, we'll give you interest on it. So maybe they don't want to cover this awesome aspect of Bitcoin, that you can get interest on your Bitcoin through the crypto dividend process, the airdrops, the forks. Now, and there have been coverage. In 2017, early 2018, we did have coverage of forks and airdrops, and there are these highfalutin people saying, "Oh, that's so beneath me. It's fake Bitcoin." Yeah, we know it's a fake Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin's the next Bitcoin. But if they're going to give it to us for free, we're going to turn it into Bitcoin, dude. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's the state. I was just thinking about that a little bit today when I was running. Today was my sprint day. Got some good sprints in there, baby. Want to get a good night's sleep. The woman who cheered me on last week, who said that I was inspiration, she wasn't there. She wasn't hanging out over her window screaming at me this time. But whatever, I was still able to complete my sprints. Interval training, do it once a week and pound that like button. Be a radical. All right. Be proud and be loud. You are not a victim. You are not a slave, okay? Do not be compliant. Defiance, baby, defiance. Do not follow the herd and write stories about every fake Satoshi out there and do videos about every time someone accuses somebody of being Satoshi. The coins aren't moving. That's the bottom line, dude. That's the bottom line. because Stone Cold Meister said so. Pound that like button. Now, all right. The Department of Justice, this is a story that's going on. I guess it came out on Friday. The Department of Justice in several states are likely to file antitrust suits against Google and are well into planning for litigation. People familiar with the matter say. Now, people in this thread are screaming. They're like, do the same to Amazon, do the same to Facebook. I mean, I can't believe the statists are reliant on government to steal from others so they can get revenge, okay? Because that's what this is. That's what this is. Google, the government's going to tell us how successful a company can be, and then they're going to try to steal from them and shut them down and throw all this bureaucracy in their faces. You guys know that I'm not a fan of the way YouTube operates, okay? I'm no fan, since April 1st especially. I'm no fan about this operation, okay? And so Google is the parent company of YouTube, all right? But I don't think the government should sue them because I'm having issues with YouTube because Google is successful. I don't think the government should sue them. No, I'm not envious. I mean, so what's it going to come to this? I mean, how about if someone is envious of your success? So should you be sued to death? Should the government come to sue you because you're doing too well? I mean, what happens if the state decides you're too successful in your industry? I mean, compete, don't complain. Compete, don't complain. And these people who want to sue Google, they're not in the competition at all. They say, oh no, they're dominating the industry. So I mean, who gets to judge what domination is? All right, they have the best product, the search product, and this suit isn't over the YouTube aspect of Google either. It's about advertisements and search, I guess. I mean, I don't even care. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that the government can interfere in private industry like this, and people are cheering it on. And it's not going to shock me when I see Bitcoiners cheer it on, but it makes no sense. I'm going to explain to you why Bitcoiners shouldn't be cheering it on to interfere. Their Bitcoin status. But here's a comment in an article. Come at them from 50 different angles, all slightly different, designed to drain Google by forcing them to defend themselves from every state's attorney general's charges. So they want all 50 states to sue Google, this person, this status. Most likely won't kill them off, but could be effective in weakening them. Oh my God, I mean, what kind of life do you have, dude? You want to weaken Google. Why don't you improve yourself? Why don't you do something productive? I mean, this is what it's come to out there. We got all these people. They're jealous of Google. They think they see Google's name too much, and now they're cheering on these virtue signaling governments to sue them, to make them feel good. Oh, poor baby, Google's getting too rich for you. Fix yourself. So Bitcoin is supposed to be non-government money, okay? Bitcoiners love to say, yes, our money isn't controlled by the Federal Reserve at all, isn't controlled by the United States. But then we're going to have some of them that are like, oh, please, United States, sue Google. It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. And they want, please, government, tell us what success is, what too successful is. No, there's no such thing as too successful. May Bitcoin be too successful. Pound that like button, because there's no such thing. Now, watch. I want all those jealous people, envious, non-productive people out there to say, well, it's unfair. Bitcoin's too productive, because there can't be an antitrust suit against Bitcoin. That is the glory of Bitcoin right there. You cannot, you status freaks out there who are bootlicking Gavin Newsom, wearing your mask and everything. You can't sue Bitcoin. You cannot antitrust sue Bitcoin. You can, unfortunately, do that to Google, apparently. And there's a lot of statists that are envious type of people, and they want to bring Google down. Okay, we'll see what happens. Complete waste of time. It will slow down technological advancement, because Google, again, I'm no fan of what they've done to YouTube, and it's probably the YouTube aspect is probably rotten, because it's rotten from the top. The person they appointed on top of YouTube, the woman in charge of YouTube, is rotten to the core, no doubt, and that's seeped down into this. But Google as a company is filled with incredibly cutting edge, smart people, and imagine this world without Google. So if you're going to, 50 states are going to sue them, and that's not necessarily going to happen, but they're going to have to deal with these lawsuits. Yeah, then technology will slow down, and the world will be a not be as good of a place as it could be. All right, so the 365-day moving average, we've talked about this before. It has reached an all-time high. The 365-day moving average has crossed $9,531. And that is the new all-time high in the history of Bitcoin for the 365-day moving average. That's something not a lot of people are talking about, but it's definitely, it means we're one day closer to a freakazoid all-time high, you fiat freaks. But it's a sign of stability too. It's definitely a sign of value stability. And there was quite some time in 2018 that it was in the 3,000s there, and in the 2019 it was in the 3,000s for quite some time. But now we're over a year away from that, and so over this last 365-day period, we've been real nice in terms of price to a point where it's the highest yearly average ever. So good job, Bitcoin, and the best is yet to come, dude. For all those people who are trying to paint this time period as one of disappointment, that is something to be quite happy if you're a fiat freak right there. Not disappointing at all. And the Excellion says, not buying Bitcoin in the 9,000s is like not buying the 600s in the 600s last halving. Yeah, I think we'll look back on that, because Bitcoin last halving, what was it, $680, and then it remained around the 600s for quite some time. People could have got, after the halving, people could have got Bitcoin for 600 for like 5 months. Yeah, it was quite, more than that. And then it never returned to 600. So now I wouldn't be surprised if it hangs around the 9,000s, it hangs around the 10,000s for a while. And then one day you'll never be able to get it for the 9,000s again. And you'll look back on this time period just like you look back on that period. And it's no coincidence that it's right after the halving. We'll see. We'll see if that run up happens at the end of this year, like it happened at the end of 2016. All right. And beginning of 2017. Remember, you can still hype the halving. You can still hype the 2020 halving. It's still informing people that it happened, that the new supply has been cut in half. They can go to bitcoinblockhalf.com and they can count down. It's like, what? How many days? 1,400? I don't even know. It's an incredible amount of days. 46 months until the next halving. Yeah. But you can still relive this current halving, because what happened the other day, you're going to feel it, baby. You're going to start to feel it all over the place, baby. So you can still hype the halving. Use the hashtag, baby. It's not over. So real quick, let me check if anybody's got questions over there. All right, we got. I see UK Bitcoin Masters in the house, and you should watch his show today. I think it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Around then, unfortunately, I'll probably be asleep then, because it is so late here in Los Angeles now. I get my 8 hours of sleep, but it's a weird, I don't go to sleep till 4 in the morning, so I don't get up till noon. All right, what a life. That's the Bitcoin overlay for you, baby. Work for yourself. All right, dude. Derpty Derp says, yeah, man. How you know? I don't know. He's talking to someone. I don't know who he's talking to. He's not talking to me. Kiwi Bloke said, pounded. Dude, New Zealand is in the house. Good to see you. All right, dudes. I am out of here. Tony said, compete, don't complain. You better believe it, baby. You better. That's conviction. You keep on going. Obstacles get thrown in your way. You just jump around those obstacles, jump over those obstacles. You are a man on a mission. You've got conviction. New show here every single day. It might be almost 3 in the morning here, but I'm wide freaking awake, baby. Oh, yeah, brother. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. Check out all the links below. I will see you tomorrow with a new show, and I'll say